Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Rune Words. So today we're going to be looking at a very, very popular rune word. It's one that's probably been made more than any other rune word, probably in the entire Diablo 2 history of rune words. And the reason why is because, number one, it's very cheap. Number two, it is very low level. And number three, it is very good. And it's hard to beat this rune word at an early level of the game, just simply because of the massively nice effects that it has for a lot of characters. And it is the rune word Stealth. Stealth is a very, very easy to make rune word with only the runes required Tal and Eth, which are both very easy to come by. You can get the Tal rune in Act 5 from the Ancient's Pledge quest, even if you don't find one along the way, and Eth runes tend to drop all the time. Now, TalEth is only a requirement of level 17, so very, very nice for some lower level characters. And as you can see by the effects on the item, it is really, really nice. It has 25% faster run walk, which is great. It helps you run around faster, which is something that people absolutely love early game because they are lacking in usually any kind of faster run walk equipment that they can possibly get. We also have a 25% faster cast rate, which is something that is amazing for early game sorceresses, elemental druids, bone necromancers, poison necromancers, and so forth and so on, because that 25% faster cast rate is going to help you get off spells more quickly. We also have 25% faster hit recovery, which is also great because it's going to help your character have a much easier time preventing those faster hit recovery stun locks, which are very, very deadly, especially to sorceresses because they have such bad faster hit recovery breakpoints. And we also have +6 to Dexterity, which is nice for some characters. It'll help you with your block chance and give you a little bit more attack rating. It'll also help you equip on your weapon a little bit earlier. We also have Regenerate Mana 15%, which is going to scale proportionally to the size of your mana pool. If you have a very large mana pool, it is going to help you more than if you have a very tiny mana pool, so keep that in mind. The greater your mana pool, the more that Regenerate Mana is going to have a nice effect. We have +15 to maximum stamina, which is always nice to have early game because you do have stamina issues early in the game. And we have poison resistance 30%, which is great because there's a lot of poison damage in both Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3. And this will be very helpful to prevent a lot of that. There is also a magic damage reduced by 3 effect, which while on the surface doesn't seem like much, but trust me when I say that magic damage reduced by 3 at a low level like this can actually be very, very handy. Basically what it does is it removes any magical damage effect that you have by 3. So if a 100 damage magical effect comes in, you're only going to take 97. If a 3 damage magic effect comes in, you're only going to take 0 because it's going to nullify the entire 3 points of damage, which is very, very nice. Now, this armor comes in handy on a wide variety of classes. It can be used on a sorceress, it can be used on a druid, a paladin, a barbarian, an Amazon. It really doesn't matter. You just make it as a low-level character, slap it on there. You're level 17, get you that faster run walk, your faster hit recovery. If you're a caster class, you get the faster cast. Put it on a mercenary, because mercenaries have faster hit recovery issues, and the faster hit recovery is going to help them a ton as well, and the poison resist will help keep them from dying to poison effects, which is fairly common for mercenaries. And depending on what kind of character you are, you might want to make it in different bases. So if you are a very low-strength sorceress, you could simply go to the shop. You could look for a 2-socket armor of any kind, and if you happen to find a 2-socket armor in here with a very low strength requirement, you could purchase that armor specifically for your base. I generally would go to Act 2 and purchase an armor in Act 2 normal, because Act 2 normal tends to have the nicer defense bases. Also, breastplates tend to be a very nice base. They are considered a light plate, and they also have a very low strength requirement. So if you are a very low strength requirement character and you would like a really decent base, I would recommend a breastplate. Go to Farah and you can shop in here until you find a 2-socket breastplate. Usually what I'll do is I'll just run back and forth in and out of town until I get a 2-socket breastplate, and I'll buy that for my caster. Now, if I'm a melee character, somebody who generally has a decent amount of strength, instead of going with a breastplate, I'll usually go with either a chainmail armor or a splint mail, because those are pretty easy to find in 2 sockets as well. So as you look in here, you're going to keep looking. So there is a 2-socket chainmail there, so you could make it out of that, or you could keep looking. Now, if you are making it for a mercenary, And ethereal armor would be the best idea. So if you could find a really nice like ethereal split mail early on, or an ethereal chainmail, or maybe even something a little bit better like an ethereal gothic plate or ancient armor, absolutely great for a mercenary because you're going to get those nice effects along with the enhanced defense, which is going to help keep them alive. And there's really not a whole lot to say about stealth other than it just really is an amazing low-level armor that is very cheap to make. And although there are some better choices for specific characters, there are very few choices that have faster cast rate. And so if you are a character who uses spells, stealth armor tends to be the armor that you're going to use for much of the beginning of the game until later on when you find something like a Skin of the Viper Magi with plus the skills on it, or perhaps a Spirit Shroud. I believe it's the Ghost Armor. Yeah, Ghost Armor. There's a whole lot of different plus to skill armors when you get higher levels, and a lot of them do have some very low strength requirement. So those tend to be better options once you start getting into the higher levels. But at level 17, when you're a level 17 sorceress, it's hard to beat 25% faster cast and 15% mana regeneration. And the faster hit recovery and the faster run walk certainly don't hurt either. So if you're leveling up a low-level character, keep this particular armor in mind. It is definitely going to help you on your journey up to Nightmare difficulty. Eventually you will obviously replace this armor with something a lot better, but you will cherish this particular recipe because in the future, when you make newer characters, you'll be like, oh, I can make a stealth armor in this. This is a pretty good stealth base. You'll find an ethereal one for your merc, and you'll go, okay, I can make a really nice ethereal stealth for him. And you'll continue this realm of logic because you realize, number one, it's super cheap to make. Number two, it's super useful. And number three, at the end of the day, you can trash it because the stealth armor is so ridiculously easy to get and make that if you find something better, you can just drop it like nothing. And it's also very nice to make for your friends. So if your friends don't have any runes and they're just starting out the game, create a stealth armor for them and give it to them and be like, hey, I got this rune word here. Or let them make it. Let them be the first to be able to put the Talon the Elf in. Let it be their first rune adventure. Give them the 2-socket armor and give them the runes and tell them the order to put it in and let them have fun creating their first rune word and a useful one at that. As always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching my videos and keep watching.